I'm your lead anchor, Cameron Builder.
And I'm Brody Fugit. We're back for another great week at Pineville.
Pineville had some special visitors this week that will be with us until after spring break. Mr. Thompson brought 6 baby chickens to the elementary for the students to watch grow. One of the baby chicks wasn't feeling the greatest and went into the care of a vet class under Dr. Gaines.
So this little chick was having a little bit of an issue. We were told that maybe it wasn't feeling that great. So sure enough, we went down and we looked at it, and then we were also told what the problem might be. So we were looking at the back end, and the back end just had some foreign material, which is not that unusual, on its back end. And so it was kind of preventing this little chick from just having its normal routine using the bathroom, so we had to clear that away. And so then once we did that, we were kind of afraid like some of the other ones might start like pecking at it, because sometimes chickens can do that, little baby chicks can do that. So now we've got it over here in the vet assistant room, and we're going to keep it by itself just until we make sure that it's okay. And then we're going to put it back, and we've got a heat source here, so we're going to put it back so that it can stay nice and warm. There we go. Thank you for doing that.
We are happy to report that after her checkup, the baby chicken is doing much better.
Superintendent Spotlight returns this week with a special interview with track coach and engineering teacher Luke Gilly. Check it out.
All right, welcome to Superintendent Spotlight. This week we are here with Coach Gilly, and we're excited to have you on the Spotlight show. Coach, if you don't care, I know a lot of people in the community and the students are that you get along with them well, and you're well respected. But if you don't care, give us a little bit about your background and where you originated from, and what's brought you here to Pineville.
I grew up in Southwest Virginia, Big Stone Gap, and went to Powell Valley High School, that's now Union High School combined with Appalachia. Left there and went to Emory Henry College. Played football for 4 years there, and left and got into coaching, teaching math, and been hooked ever since. So.
Yeah, I remember I'd seen a picture of you playing college football, and you were very broad.
Yep.
But what position did you play there?
Played offensive line and some linebacker.
Okay, well, good deal. Now, I got the opportunity, and I first met you when I was working at Millersboro, and I started teaching some Algebra 1, and you were very beneficial at the transition for me going into teaching Algebra 1 and freshman level math, so I really appreciate that. But you caught my eyes, just your talent at working with kids. And so I was very interested in being able to bring those talents here to our district when I became superintendent. So when it first came about, I had found out that you are not only teaching math, that you were teaching engineering courses.
Yes.
And you're one of the few that are certified to teach engineering in this area, especially, but across the state. So tell us a little bit about your engineering program, and what we've been able to do here at Pineville with that.
So we have started a aerospace engineering academy, and we bring kids in. They get a little bit of graphic design engineering, and then a little bit of civil engineering in the first year. The second year, they get a lot of robotics, mechanical engineering, electronic, a little bit of electrical engineering, things like that. And then it goes into aerospace engineering, where they learn about space travel, satellites, things like that. And then we've been able to do a lot of STEM activities for different science classes and math classes all year. And they bring the kids in, and I try to fix those where the kids do most of the work, and they put labs on for other students.
Yeah, when I've walked through the hallways, and you look down the hall, and you'll see them with, driving a vehicle with a calculator, or a drone, or even a slinging potatoes outside. You never know what's going to come out of that classroom,
Right.
But it seems like they're having a blast. Well, at the same time, they're learning and putting some of these STEM activities together. So it's been a great add-on to our options here at Pineville, and I think our kids have really enjoyed it. And I appreciate you working with kids and making them excited about education, making them excited about learning. And that's one of the things that we want to do as a district. But you're a big part of bringing that to our district and giving more options, getting something that get kids involved. Also, while we're talking about the engineering, can you tell us a little bit about your latest project? Because we had the University of Kentucky, we had John Combs come in from Combs Group to see what these kids were doing. I know it's sort of a collaborative project, and
Right.
you had 3 or 4 groups there working together, but what are the kids doing right now in your classroom?
So we built a model coal mine, and we have 5 different teams that are working on it. We wired it up with sensors, and that was one team of electrical students. We built a model, a 3D model in CAD, and 3D printed a design of it. Then that was my design kids that did that. Then we had a group build a robot to robotically evacuate miners in case of emergency. And they have got into a little bit of everything. We tested the cameras this morning actually, and they worked pretty well.
I saw that.
Then we have another group that is working on the environmental aspects, and Mr. Combs brought us some stuff from inside of a coal mine where we could test the different dirt and materials that came off of it. And then we have a group that's working on the effects of animals in the area from the runoff from coal mines and different things like that. So we have a bunch of different teams that work. They communicate through radios when they talk to each other, and they have periodic team meetings where they brief each other on where they're at.
Well, that's one thing that I was very impressed with, was not only the actual work that they were doing to get the mine built, to get the rescue to take place, and some of the measurements they were taking, and some of the math that they were using, but the communication was really big, and I think that's something that may be overlooked a lot of times, is the communication that goes into putting a project together, that they're having to work together, and everybody brings their strengths and weaknesses to those projects, and some of those strengths really showcase some talents that we may not know existed, but those kids really rise to those leadership
It's a model of a mine from RJ from the 1950s, and it was a 39-inch coal seam, so our model is 39 inches, but everything else is scaled down.
That's awesome.
To fit.
Yeah, and I appreciate you bringing that close to home, and some people may be able to relate to that, or have grandparents that they're familiar with that. On top of that, I know you're staying busy during the work day in the classroom, but on top of that, you also you help with football, and that means a lot. And we appreciate all the efforts that you've done there. But you also formed a pretty strong track team here at Pineville, something that I'm very proud of, and I'm sure that you are. But I've known that you had worked in the past at Millsboro doing some track events, but I saw you working with those kids and thought, this guy's really good at track, and then you and your wife were able to come over and bring some of that to our school. So tell us a little bit about track, and I do want to say that where I serve on the KHSAA board, I was at the state track event, and it was nice to see that we had 21 participants last year at the single A state championship, and I don't think it's something like that's ever been achieved here. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure about that, and that is great that we're giving those kids opportunities, and I want to just say publicly that I thank you for working with those kids and getting them to that level where they can compete. But tell us a little bit about this year's track and what's going on.
Well, I'm glad to work with them. I appreciate the opportunity, because it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. We were fortunate to have 21 qualify last year, and we got 20 of the 21 back. So we have one senior participating now, so we're still a young team.
Wow.
But we have been able to add several 7th graders and 8th graders that ran really well last Friday night, so we're excited about them. They're going to kind of contribute in places that we weren't able to contribute last year. So I've got a good crew of kids that are working hard, and we're excited to see how it plays out.
Well, and I'm excited. We have a bid opening today at 2 o'clock for a new project, and I was glad to see in that project we were able to incorporate some track events, because I think this is really a good way to get kids involved. And I think when you get kids involved, you get them involved in better academically, you get involved with their attendance, and they're going to show up for you because they want to be at track practice, they want to participate in those events. So for us to be able to add just a few events, I'd like to get more. We're going to continue to try to work on those things, but I hope that the kids can utilize that. But you've done this by working, by running around Virginia Avenue and Bill Adams Drive. So hopefully if we can get some events or some practice opportunities in there in the new project that we have coming on, that our kids will benefit from that. So that's a goal, and I know that you'll utilize it wisely, both in football and in the track events where we can get both boys and girls going in that sport. So, Coach, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being on the Superintendent Spotlight. And guys, we look forward to the next time we get to meet.
Last week, we let you decide who would advance in our March Madness cereal bracket. Let's see who makes it out of the Elite Eight and advances to the Final Four.
two cereals, which one is your favorite?
Fruit Loops.
Out of these two, which one's your favorite cereal?
I gotta go Apple Jacks.
Okay, thank you. Out of those two cereals, which one are you gonna pick?
I'd have to say Fruit Loops.
Thank you. Out of those two cereals, which one's your favorite?
Apple Jacks.
Okay, thank you.
Jabroni, how in the world are you going to pick Apple Jacks over that? That's trash, bro. Some people, I do not understand how they do this, bro. How do you pick Apple Jacks over Fruit Loops? Fruit Loops is the obvious answer, bro. I mean, good God, just cut this. This is trash.
You have to pick one.
I have to pick one?
You have to pick one.
Fruit Loops Classic.
Fruit Loops, thank you. On this bracket, which one is your favorite cereal?
Do not pick the wrong
Lucky
answer.
Charms.
Thank you. Oh, it's between Frosted Flakes and Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Thank you. Let's go. On this bracket, which one is y'all's favorite cereal?
Frosted Flakes.
Lucky Charms.
Thank you. Okay, Scooby. On this top two bracket, which one is your favorite cereal? Fruity Pebbles or Honeycombs?
Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Donnie.
Okay.
Which one is your favorite cereal?
Guess I'm gonna have to go Fruity Pebbles.
Thank you. On these top two brackets, which one is your favorite cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
Thank you. What is your favorite cereal on this bracket?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay, thank you.
Jabroni.
Which one of these cereals is your favorite cereal?
Cocoa Pebbles for sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, which one of these is your favorite cereal?
Cocoa Pebbles.
Thank you. Which one of these cereals is your favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay, thank you. Which one of these cereals is your favorite cereal?
Between these two,
Yes.
every girl loves their chocolate, Cocoa Pebbles.
Okay, thank you.
Track and field had a great showing at their first meet of the year. Congrats to Ella Lynch, Randall Saylor, Isaiah Brown, Addison Arnett, Kaylin Burnett, Cadence McQueen, Riley Monholland, Michaela Terrell, and Nathan Brock for setting their new PRs.
Last week was a huge week for Odyssey of the Mind. Elementary placed 4th in their first state competition, high school finished with its 3rd state championship in a row, and middle school repeated as state champions. Congratulations to all the students involved.
We have a few announcements. Remember, this week is a short week leading up to spring break. There is no school Friday for Good Friday.
Kim Yates and her group of students will be leaving Wednesday for Pittsburgh. Stay tuned after spring break for a special episode featuring this trip. Senior trip will be the following week.
As always, if you're interested in joining the news team, contact John or Sam North. Check out our YouTube channel for new episodes of the weather, bloopers, and extended content.
We will see you next week.